A firearm you bought for $800 in 2010 is worth $3,000 today, while your friend's budget gun sits at pawn shop counters gathering dust. The difference isn't luck. It's scarcity, heritage, and smart collecting. Today we reveal exactly which firearms are becoming investment-grade assets and why some guns are disappearing from the market forever. Stay with us. Number 10. The Smith Wesson Model 19 Pinned and Recessed Revolver. Let's start with a gun that deserves legendary status. The Smith & Wesson Model 19. Combat Magnum is the most beautiful revolver ever made, and early versions are becoming serious investment assets in the 2026 collector market. The Model 19 debuted in 1957 as law enforcement's answer to a perfect service revolver. Smith & Wesson built them with obsessive care and precision. Every Model 19 was pinned and recessed. That means the cylinder pin went completely through the frame. The cylinder had recessed chambers. These manufacturing details added cost and time. They added perfection that separated quality from compromise. But in 1982, Smith & Wesson stopped pinning and recessing cylinders to reduce manufacturing costs. They wanted to save money on production. The newer versions still work mechanically, but collectors reject them completely. The pinned and recessed versions became the golden standard that defines the era. For decades, Model 19s sold cheap at gun shops. Gun shops had plenty in inventory. Shooters bought them. Collectors ignored them. Prices stayed low at $600 to $900. Then something shifted around 2010. Serious shooters tested them carefully in competition and tactical scenarios. They realized the Model 19 was perfect. Better trigger than competitors. Better accuracy than anything else in the price range. Better reliability. Word spread fast through the community. Now a pristine pinned and recessed Model 19 costs $1,500 to $1,950. A rare 2.5-inch snubby version touches $2,500 or more. The manufacturing window was narrow. Only guns made between 1957 and 1982 have the pinned and recessed feature. That's only 25 years of production. Now 44 years have passed since they stopped making them. Supply keeps shrinking. Demand keeps growing. The market has delivered its verdict clearly. When a company chooses profit over craftsmanship, the guns they abandoned become forever precious to those who understand quality. Number 9. The West German Sig Sauer P226 triple serial number model. The Sig Sauer P226 is iconic worldwide, but only one version is truly collectible among serious investors. The West German triple serial number models from the 1980s are the holy grail of P226 collecting. These guns have serial numbers stamped on 3 separate places: the frame, the slide, the barrel. That triple marking proves authenticity and careful manufacturing attention. West German guns feature carbon steel slides. They're lighter than modern versions. They balance better than modern stainless steel versions. The feel is distinctly different in hand. Collectors in 2026 are hunting specifically for these West German examples with intensity. The preference is unmistakable in the market. A mint-condition West German P226 with the original yellow label box costs $1,600 to $2,300. Modern Legion models cost $950 to $1,100. The old German version is worth far more because it represents something impossible to replicate. Why the price gap? Geopolitics and scarcity converge. West Germany unified with East Germany in 1990. That marked the end of independent German production forever. Sig Sauer slowly shifted manufacturing to America after reunification. The original German-made guns became permanent artifacts of a specific era that will never return. The carbon steel slides cannot be replicated today by modern manufacturers. Modern manufacturing cannot economically produce them at reasonable cost. Collectors understand this completely. They pay premiums for something impossible to make new. The metallurgy is different. The process is forgotten. Look for the JH or JJ date codes stamped on the frame. Those indicate the golden era of West German production at Neuhausen. A P226 with that code and mint condition touches $2,400. Add the original box and bayonet, and you're approaching $3,000. A nation's manufacturing legacy. A moment in history captured in steel. That's what collectors are actually buying when they invest in these guns. Number 8. The FNFAL Pre-Ban Battle Rifle. The FNFAL is a legend. NATO adopted it. Countries around the world chose it over everything else. It's the rifle that defined a generation of warfare. Pre-ban civilian FNFAL imports are extremely rare in America. The 1989 assault weapons ban cut off civilian supply permanently. Pre-ban examples are now genuine collector items worth serious money. Original FN-made FAL rifles in good condition cost $5,000 to $6,500. Some exceptional examples exceed $7,000. Why such high prices? Scarcity and military pedigree combine perfectly. The FAL was battle-tested everywhere. It saw combat in Africa, Europe, South America, and Asia. The gun proved itself under real conditions. That history is baked into every example. Manufacturing stopped for civilian imports decades ago. You cannot buy a pre-ban FNFAL anywhere. The supply is completely fixed. No new ones will ever appear. Existing examples are all that will ever exist in the civilian market. Collectors pay premiums for this certainty. They know the gun will not depreciate. They know the scarcity will never change. They know future collectors will want them even more. Belgian-made FN examples command the highest prices. They represent the absolute peak of FAL manufacturing. Mint Belgian FNFALs touch $7,000 to $8,000. These aren't just guns. They're artifacts of a Cold War era when nations trusted one design to defend them. Number 7. The Polytech Legend H&K MK23 Pre-Ban Milled Receiver. Now we reach something truly rare. The Polytech Legend is a Chinese AK-47 with a milled receiver. These are the only milled receiver Chinese AKs ever imported to America legally. The 1989 import ban ended that story forever and sealed their investment value. Pre-ban Polytech Legends cost $6,800 to $8,500 today. That's dramatic growth from previous years. In 2020, they cost $4,000 to $5,500. The climb accelerated significantly in the past 6 years as collectors discovered their value and scarcity. Why such aggressive appreciation? Scarcity is baked in permanently with mathematical certainty. No new Chinese firearms have entered America for decades. The geopolitical situation ensures it stays that way indefinitely. Every existing Polytech Legend is one of a fixed number that will ever exist. That certainty drives collector demand forward, relentlessly upward. The milled receiver represents superior craftsmanship and engineering. Stamped receivers are cheaper to produce in bulk. Milled receivers are stronger and more precise in their tolerances. Collectors understand this distinction completely. They pay premiums for better engineering and superior durability. Mint-in-box examples with original bayonet and 3 chrome follower magazines are pushing $10,000 at major auction houses like Rock Island. The rarity is extreme. Supply keeps shrinking as guns disappear into private vaults and protected collections. Compare this to modern AK clones available today. You can buy a new quality AK today for $800 to $1,200. A Polytech Legend is worth 8 times that investment. The scarcity gap is enormous because one side of the equation has been frozen in time since 1989. Number 6. The H&K MK23 Special Operations Pistol Maritime Finish. The H&K MK23 is exclusive in every sense. It was designed specifically for Special Operations Forces. Only professional soldiers used them in the field. The gun drips prestige from every angle, but one critical detail separates the treasures from the merely expensive variations. The MK23, launched in 1996 as USSOCOM's offensive handgun. Heckler & Koch designed it for the highest-level operators. Early production models featured a distinctive maritime finish coating. This is a glossy, thick protective coating applied by hand. It's protective and beautiful simultaneously. The finish cannot be replicated today at any reasonable cost by modern manufacturers. An early maritime finish, MK23 from the 1996 to 1998 production window in excellent condition costs $4,000 to $6,000. Mint unfired examples touch $7,000 at auction. These prices have climbed dramatically over the decade. Standard finish MK23s cost $2,200 to $2,700. The premium for maritime finish is massive. H&K switched to standard matte finish around 2000. The glossy maritime coating became permanently associated with true special operations models. Collectors hunt specifically for maritime finish examples. They understand what that detail means about early production. Look for the KH date code on early models. That indicates peak production quality. AKH marked maritime finish MK23 in mint condition is pushing $6,500. Add original USSOCOM documentation, and you're approaching $8,000. These guns were built to last forever. Maintained examples still shoot perfectly after 30 years. Number 5. The Winchester Model 70 pre-1964, Rare Caliber Edition. The Winchester Model 70 is called the rifleman's rifle by generations of hunters. It defined bolt-action excellence across decades, but only specific versions are becoming true investment gold. The rare caliber editions are the genuine treasures in this category. Pre-1964, Model 70s have features later versions abandoned. The original controlled round feed system works flawlessly. The beautiful Mauser-type action feels perfect in hand. Hand-cut checkering, impeccable machining throughout. These were built when Winchester cared about craftsmanship more than cost-cutting corners. A standard pre-1964 Winchester Model 70 in .30-06 or .270 caliber costs $3,200 to $4,000 in today's market. But rare caliber versions are where real investment happens. A 300 H&H Magnum pre-64 Model 70 costs $5,000 to $6,500. A 375 H&H example touches $8,000 or more. Why such high premiums? Scarcity multiplied by desirability. Winchester made far fewer guns in specialty calibers. Fewer survived 70 years of hunting use. Collectors understand the difference. Modern hunters want these legendary cartridges. Serious collectors want investment-grade assets. Look for pre-1964 models with original Monte Carlo stocks. Those examples command top dollar. A pristine 300 H&H with original stock is a $3,800 to $4,200 asset. Originality is sacred. Any modification destroys value. These are artifacts from an era when Winchester built rifles for purpose, not profit. Number 4. The M1 Garand Springfield World War II Classic. The M1 Garand is American history. It was the rifle that won World War II. Over 5 million were made, yet values keep climbing steadily year after year in the collector market. A used M1 Garand from Springfield Armory, in good to very good condition, costs $1,300 to $1,800. Better examples exceed $2,000. Rare variants and special orders touch $3,000 or more, depending on documentation and specific production details. Gas trap models and early production rifles from 1936 to 1939 command significant premiums over standard issue rifles. National Ordnance and Winchester examples also exist, but Springfield Armory rifles remain the most sought. Matching serial numbers on receiver and barrel add substantial value. Why does a common gun command such prices? Supply is mathematically limited forever. No new M1 Garands are being made by any manufacturer. Every rifle that exists is one of the 5 million produced. As rifles rust away in basements and attics, remaining examples become scarcer every single year that passes. Condition-rated examples are increasingly rare. The CMP, Civilian Marksmanship Program, still offers some sales, but inventory has dwindled significantly since 2010. Historical significance matters immensely. This rifle carried American soldiers through Pacific Island battles and European campaigns. Every M1 Garand has stories embedded in its metal. Collectors want connection to that history. They understand they're holding something that mattered in world events and military operations. Original finish and unmolested condition can increase values substantially. A younger generation is discovering the M1. They learn its history through documents and records. They understand its importance to America. They want to own a piece of America's military past. The price reflects this growing appreciation across generations. That's not inflation. That's respect for heritage and historical significance. Number 3, the HK91, pre-ban German rifle. The HK91 is the civilian version of the legendary G3 battle rifle. Germany designed it during the Cold War. Other countries adopted it worldwide across multiple militaries. Pre-ban civilian imports are now extraordinarily rare and intensely sought after by collectors. A used pre-ban HK91 in good condition costs $2,000 to $4,000 in today's market. Exceptional unfired examples can exceed $5,000 consistently. These prices have climbed steadily for 2 decades as the supply naturally diminishes. Rifles with matching numbered parts command premiums over assembled examples. Original furniture and correct markings significantly enhance value. Demilled examples occasionally appear but have minimal collector value. The 1989 assault weapons ban cut off American imports permanently. Pre-ban examples are now all that will ever exist in the civilian market. No new ones will appear from import channels. The supply is mathematically fixed at whatever number came in before the ban took effect. That finality drives collector confidence and sustained demand. The original rifle never received official U.S. military adoption, but foreign military service adds prestige. The HK91 represents German engineering mastery. The roller-delayed blowback system is genius in its simplicity and reliability. The accuracy is exceptional for a battle rifle platform. The durability is legendary among military historians. Owners of HK91s keep them forever in collections. They never appear used because people don't sell guns they love this much. The rifle was trusted by militaries worldwide and proved itself in real combat situations across decades. That's a resume that money cannot replicate. That's why collectors pay what they do for documented examples in original condition. Number 2, the Colt M1911, pre-Series 70 masterpiece. The Colt M1911 is the gun that changed everything in handgun design. John Browning designed it. America adopted it in 1911 as the official service pistol. It became the most copied handgun design in history because nothing else came close to its balance of ergonomics and reliability. Pre-Series 70, Colt M1911s made before 1970 are the holy grail for serious collectors. These lack the firing pin safety added later in the Series 70 redesign. Gunsmiths and collectors prefer the original design without the internal safety. A pre-Series 70 Colt M1911 in excellent condition costs $2,500 to $4,000. Rare military variations exceed $5,000 or more depending on provenance. Commercial models with original grips and finishes command premium prices. Early production Colt M1911s have even higher values. A 1913 to 1915 commercial Colt in fine condition costs $4,500 to $8,000. World War I era military examples touch $5,000 to $10,000, depending on condition and provenance documentation. These prices reflect extreme rarity and historical significance of early production runs. Military markings like United States property significantly enhance collector appeal. These guns are over 100 years old today. The engineering is proven across decades of military and police use in real situations. They represent American manufacturing excellence at its finest. Colt built them with obsessive care and hand-fitting techniques that defined the era. Some specimens show frame and slide serial number matching perfectly with original barrels. The critical detail separates investment-grade examples from shooters. Colt stopped hand-fitting M1911s decades ago. Modern production uses CNC machines for efficiency. A hand-fitted M1911 from the early 1900s feels different than a modern production gun. That feeling of individual craftsmanship has real dollar value in the collector market. These weren't mass-produced on assembly lines. These were made by gunsmiths who took pride in every component. That pride lives in the steel permanently. Number 1. The M1 Garand National Match Special Edition. Now we reach the ultimate. The M1 Garand National Match Special Edition. These were built for competition shooting. Every single one was hand-selected and tested for accuracy. These guns represent the absolute peak of rifle engineering. National Match M1 Garands are rare. Fewer were made than standard military versions. Condition and documentation are everything. A documented National Match M1 Garand from the 1950s in excellent condition costs $2,000 to $4,000. Pristine unfired examples touch $5,000 to $6,000. Why these prices? Several converging factors. First, rarity. National Match rifles were always scarce. Second, purpose-built for performance. These were created for excellence, not mass production. Third, documentation. Collectors value provenance. A known National Match rifle with paperwork commands premiums because it proves something. These rifles represent peak American manufacturing during the Cold War. Gunsmiths selected the best rifles. They hand-fitted components. They tested at ranges. The result was perfection. No shortcuts, no compromises. Just the best America could produce. Younger collectors are discovering National Match rifles. They realize these are American engineering at its absolute best. They understand they're buying not just a gun, but a moment when quality mattered more than profit. That moment is gone forever. The rifles that embodied it are worth whatever collectors will pay. Conclusion. The firearms holding value better than gold share unmistakable common traits: scarcity, heritage, quality, purpose, design excellence, historical significance. These elements converge to create investment-grade firearms. Cheap modern production guns will never be valuable. Mass-market commodity pistols will never be collectible. But guns built with craft, guns designed for excellence, guns that did something important, guns with stories, those become treasures. The market has spoken clearly. Military classics climb. Discontinued designs appreciate consistently. Purpose-built examples command premiums. Limited production runs hold value indefinitely. Guns that were good enough for warriors become good enough for investment. Notice the pattern. Every firearm in this countdown shares something critical, either scarcity or manufacturing technique that cannot be replicated, or historical importance, or military adoption, or all of the above. These elements matter most. The collectors winning understand this. They buy guns that satisfy multiple criteria. A pre-1964 Winchester Model 70 in rare caliber hits scarcity, craftsmanship, and specialized purpose simultaneously. That's investment grade. If you want firearms that hold value like gold, follow this principle. Buy what matters, buy what's scarce, buy what's built right, buy what won't be made again. Those are the guns that will be worth something tomorrow, and the day after that, forever.